Have you ever felt it? That eerie sensation crawling up your spine, like someone's watching you, even when you're all alone. They call him the stalker. Picture this, a young woman, let's call her Sarah, walking home late at night. The streets are empty, save for the flickering streetlights casting long shadows. She can't shake the feeling of being followed. Footsteps echo behind her, but every time she turns around, there's no one there. Just the wind whistling through the trees and her own racing heartbeat. At first, Sarah tries to brush it off as paranoia. But then strange things start happening. She notices faint smudges on her bedroom window, like handprints pressed from the outside. She tells herself it's just her imagination, but deep down, she knows something's not right. One night, as Sarah lies in bed, her phone buzzes. She reaches for it, expecting a message from a friend. Instead, her blood runs cold as she reads the text. "I'm watching you." Panic sets in as she realizes this isn't just her mind playing tricks on her anymore. Heart pounding, Sarah rushes to the window, peering out into the darkness. That's when she sees it, a figure standing perfectly still in the shadows. Its eyes seem to glow faintly, like burning embers in the night. Sarah tries to scream, but no sound comes out. It's as if the very air has been sucked from her lungs. Suddenly, the lights in her room flicker and go out. Sarah stands frozen in terror, unable to move. When the lights come back on a few seconds later, the figure outside is gone, but the nightmare isn't over. As Sarah turns back to her room, she catches a glimpse of something in her mirror that makes her blood turn to ice. There, reflected in the glass, is her own terrified face, and the shadow of someone standing right behind her. From that night on, Sarah's life is never the same. She moves away, changes her name, does everything she can to escape the memory of that terrifying encounter. But she can never truly shake the feeling of being watched. Word spreads quickly in her old neighborhood. Neighbors whisper about the stalker, a mysterious entity that chooses its victims in the dead of night. They say that once his eyes find you, he never lets go. Parents warn their children not to stay out after dark, and people start locking their doors and windows even on the hottest summer nights. But is the stalker just an urban legend, a story told to scare kids into behaving? Or is there something more sinister at work in the shadows of our world? Some say the stalker is a vengeful spirit, doomed to wander the earth in search of those who wronged him in life. Others claim he's a demon, feeding on the fear of his victims. And then there are those who believe he's something even worse, a living, breathing person with an insatiable hunger for terror and control. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain: the fear of the stalker has taken root in the collective consciousness of the community. People start seeing him everywhere, in the flicker of a streetlight, in the rustle of leaves on a windy night, in the unexplained creaks and groans of their homes. Local authorities dismiss the stories as mass hysteria, but that doesn't stop the sightings from pouring in. A jogger swears she saw a figure matching the stalker's description watching her from the tree line during her morning run. A group of teenagers camping in the woods claim they woke up to find strange symbols carved into the trees around their campsite. As the fear grows, so do the theories about the stalker's true nature and motivations. Some believe he's drawn to those with dark secrets, while others think he targets the pure and innocent. There are even those who claim to have communicated with him through Ouija boards and seances, though their accounts are often contradictory and bizarre. Psychologists and skeptics try to explain away the phenomenon, attributing it to a combination of suggestibility, pareidolia, and the old-fashioned fear of the unknown. But for those who've experienced the stalker firsthand, no rational explanation can erase the terror they've felt. The legend of the stalker continues to grow and evolve, taking on a life of its own. Books are written, documentaries are made, and online forums are filled with supposed eyewitness accounts and blurry photos that might or might not show a shadowy figure lurking in the background. Some brave or foolish souls even attempt to seek out the stalker, hoping to prove his existence once and for all. Most come back empty-handed, but a few return with stories that send chills down the spines of even the most hardened skeptics. One such story comes from a paranormal investigator who spent a night in Sarah's old house years after she'd moved away. He set up cameras and audio equipment, hoping to capture some evidence of supernatural activity. What he got instead was far more terrifying. In the middle of the night, all of his equipment suddenly shut off. When he checked the footage later, he found that in the seconds before the blackout, every camera in the house had captured the same image, a pair of glowing eyes staring directly into the lens. The investigator packed up and left town the next day, refusing to speak about his experience to anyone. But the damage was done. The story spread like wildfire, reigniting the fear and fascination with the stalker. Now, years later, the legend of the stalker has become a part of the local folklore. Parents use it to warn their children about the dangers of staying out too late. Teenagers dare each other to visit supposedly haunted locations associated with the stalker sightings. And on dark, quiet nights, when the wind whispers through the trees and shadows seem to move of their own accord, even the most rational minds can't help but wonder, ... is someone watching? So the next time you feel that prickle on the back of your neck, that sense that you're not alone, even when you should be, remember the stalker. He may just be a story, a cautionary tale born from our deepest fears and anxieties. Or maybe, just maybe, he's real. Maybe he's out there right now, watching, waiting, choosing his next victim, and who knows? It could be you. The stalker may just be a story. Or maybe he's standing right outside your window. Comment below with the scariest experience you've ever had, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Before he finds you,